The visuals, it's what you see first. So you need that eye-catching visual to make people stop scrolling first of all, and then go into the copy and see what is it all about. But if the visual it's very impactful and actually sends an emotion to your audience, it will most likely make them stop.
Cristina Simion, who is founder and creative director of CS Visual Storytelling, a company that helps businesses stand out from the crowd.
You need to put yourself in the shoes of that person and think, what are they doing? What are they thinking? What are they scrolling for? Are they looking at something specifically or not? And
it's quite good for this episode to be almost like a mini coaching session, because I am the person that doesn't understand and never did.
Not everyone thinks they're creative themselves, and being intimidated a bit of taking pictures and stuff like that. That's why I'm trying to help them in this area more.
Okay.
Usually what's working on social media in general is to focus more on
Hello and welcome to Founder Stories, the podcast for small business owners. I'm your host, Simon Kalu, and I created this show not only to motivate and inspire, but to give you actionable strategies to take back into your business, shortcutting your route to success. Each week, I'll sit down with real and relatable business owners, uncovering how they've created a business that gives them freedom, creates impact, and makes money. So let's get started. Welcome back to season 2 of Founder Stories. We are back with another episode, as always, bringing you relatable, inspirational business owners. Today we have a very special guest, Cristina Simion, who is founder and creative director of CS Visual Storytelling, a company that helps businesses stand out from the crowd. We're not going to tell you yet how you do that, just to whet the appetite. So welcome to the podcast.
Welcome, thank you.
Thanks for coming down. If you're listening for the first time, guys, Founder Stories is about helping entrepreneurs and business owners with real life actionable advice, strategies, tips, and stories to inspire, but practical steps that you can take back into your business after this podcast and improve. You know, not just inspiration, but actually practical steps you can take back and implement. Hopefully today we can share your story. That's what it's all about as a founder. Get some lessons so the viewers or listeners can gain insight from that. And I'm really interested actually, and it's super important for business owners to take visuals more seriously. And when we first spoke, I totally agreed that most businesses overlook or underinvest in that area. So keen to get your advice for people on, even if they're on a budget, how they can improve their visuals and why they should do that. So let's start with you. Let's start with where you're at now. Tell me about your business. What does it do? Who's your ideal client? And then we'll kind of reverse back to tell the story of how you got here.
Yeah. So as you said, I created CS Visual Storytelling to help businesses stand out from the crowd. And as the name says, it's all through visual storytelling. So the ideal client, it depends. I'm actually happy to work with different people from small businesses to large businesses. But the small ones usually, you are doing everything for yourself.
Yeah, wearing many hats.
Yeah, exactly. And there are studies showing that one person has to wear like 3 hats. One is the creative or like technician, or depending on what they do. One is the manager, and one is actually the entrepreneur.
Yeah.
For example, for myself, I'm for sure the creative, and for me, like being salesy and stuff like that comes harder.
Yes.
For others, the creative part comes harder.
Yeah.
And that's
for most people, probably.
I don't know. But yeah, that's where I'm trying to help them. Those people that are don't consider themselves creative, but maybe they just don't know it yet. And with a few tips and stuff like that, that's why I created a free guide as well. They can understand more, and it doesn't seem so intimidating to go outside and take that picture for yourself. And nowadays with the phones, there are so many lenses on the phone, and you just use the normal one. And sometimes you see an angle, and like you're at an event or something and see an angle and be like, oh yeah, I'll snap a picture. And then you look at the camera and it doesn't look like I want it to look, you know?
Yeah.
So I started actually business workshop as well,
Okay.
to help them understand more how to use their phones. And
Right.
it's easier for you to just go outside and then be confident in creating your own content.
Yeah.
Usually they create their own content, and marketing feels daunting sometimes as well. So there is like a lot of information everywhere.
Yeah.
On social media, on Google, everywhere you look, and everyone says something, do that, that's gonna bring you sales, that's gonna bring you views, and so on. And yeah, it just, until you actually practice and understand, it's not that intimidating, not that hard, probably you can be confident in being the creative as well. So
Okay.
that's
So
what
you
I'm
help
trying.
people, I guess, with the smaller businesses,
Yes.
empower them to be able to create their own content and have
Yeah.
support. You know, does
Yeah.
this look good? How can I improve this? That kind of thing.
Yes.
Why would they want to create more content and better quality content? Why should small businesses be interested in that?
Well, you know, everyone is kind of trying to put themselves out there with any sort of content nowadays. Everything is on social media and so on.
Yeah.
And the visuals, it's what you see first. Unless they have like a big text on it, so the image goes in the background and you first see the text. The visual is what you see
Why
first.
things like Instagram
Yeah.
have been so popular, right? And
Yeah.
now obviously with TikTok, you know, moving visuals and things like that is so popular because people don't have the patience nowadays,
Yeah.
I guess, to read text like
Exactly.
they would before.
Attention span is shorter and shorter, so you need that eye-catching visual to make people stop scrolling first of all,
Yeah.
and then go into the copy and see what is it all about.
Yeah.
But if the visual it's very impactful and actually sends an emotion to your audience, it will most likely make them stop. You know, all of those big campaigns, big brands are actually using these creative campaigns nowadays as well.
Yeah.
Probably saw more and more. And I think the last one I saw that was like really eye-catching was the ketchup and mustard superheroes. Have you
Okay.
seen that one
No,
from
no,
Heinz?
no.
So like one it's yellow and one it's red, and automatically you see those and be like, yeah, the superheroes of the table. Like it's just straight away. It's
okay,
that
so
click.
you might look at a business, even like mine for accounting, and you might, rather than me just taking pictures without a thought process, help me understand what story I'm trying to tell.
Exactly.
I remember I listened to a talk actually at an event probably 5 or 6 years ago, and I heard someone talking about this, and like you do as an entrepreneur, you listen to it and you think that's a great idea and you don't take action on it. And their point was, if you create Facebook ads, you should be telling a story. Like they played a 3-minute Facebook ad and it was so emotional. And at the end it was for like an insurance company or something, but it was about, you know, you maybe being ill and providing for your family and all of these things to make you realize why it's so important as a business owner to have critical illness cover or whatever it might be, rather than maybe just having a picture of people in an office. Hey, we do business insurance. That kind of thing. Is that the idea, right? Try and understand what's going to resonate with your audience.
Yeah. Basically telling the story with no words, just in the picture. And this is what you mentioned. A very simple example is, you know, the usual business pictures, headshots. It's just a plain background behind you. You
Like
can
the
just
ones
be in your
on my
office.
website.
But yeah, sometimes they work, of course, and put the people in front of the audience. But you can actually just be in your office and you automatically tell the story.
Yeah.
Just, you know, a chair behind you, a laptop in front of you.
Yeah.
And the person gets the idea quicker of, oh yeah, they are working on it. This is what they can help me with.
So
basically.
your business kind of pulls people out of just doing what everyone else is doing and helps them create that kind of unique competitive advantage by understanding them, right?
Yeah.
And so you work with bigger businesses, presumably as at a consultancy level, and then for the smaller businesses, you're offering products or courses or group coaching or that kind of thing.
Yeah, for bigger ones as well. So I'm doing photography. Every package of mine comes with visuals because that's what I'm aiming for. And then if they need help on social media management, I do the copywriting and management and reporting as well.
Okay.
But none of the packages would come without the visuals because
So
that's
that
what
goes
makes
first.
the impact. Yes.
Okay, that's really interesting. Because I believe, for example, totally different subject, but if you don't have accurate, timely numbers, so your books aren't up to date, then you can't do tax planning or you can't do business planning, or everything comes from the numbers.
Yeah.
And your theory, which seems to be true from my understanding, is that everything comes from, I guess, understanding the consumer first, and then the visuals, and then the copy comes off the back of the visuals. Of course, not write the copy first without thinking about the consumer or the visual.
I know it can work in some of the cases, but yeah, as I said the first time, the visual, it's eye-catching, first of all. So you complement that with writing, in my opinion.
Yeah. Or even, I guess, if you're writing an email designed to get people to take action, if you think about how you want that to look in your head, even if you're not going to embed a picture into the email, that then creates the copy.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it depends now. If it's for a blog, of course, the copy has more power than the visuals. But in my packages for social media and standing out from the crowd in this online space, the visuals would be the first thing that people see. And that's why I've put the main focus on these. But I worked in digital marketing for over 6 years, and I know all the ins and out. So doing the copy and doing the analytics and everything, they all come together in the end if you want. But people usually tend to write easier about their service than photographing. And going back to, not everyone thinks they're creative themselves, and being intimidated a bit of taking pictures and stuff like that. That's why I'm trying to help them in this area more.
Okay, cool. So just reversing back then, you said that you worked in digital marketing. What were you doing before that? Did you go straight out of university or exams straight into kind of a grad role in digital marketing?
Yeah, so after high school, I moved to the UK.
Where are you from originally?
I came from Romania.
Okay.
In 2014.
I thought you were like French or Italian or something like that. I don't know why.
Yeah, I've heard that before. We are all close.
I guess so.
Romans and stuff. The language has a bit of similarities as well. So I moved here to study. I've done 1 year of university back in Romania.
Okay.
Didn't really like it. It's all very theoretical. And I had this idea of coming here before. I just didn't go through with it. And I studied journalism at the University of Derby.
Okay.
And then I followed that with a marketing management postgrad.
Yeah.
And then I went straight back into working in marketing. But throughout my studies, I worked in different departments of the university, or like through the student employment agency, and kind of covered a lot of areas and understood what I would like. That's why I chose the marketing management postgrad as well, to expand the area.
You're still trying to work out at 18, 19, 20 what you enjoy. Which is really important for people actually to do something they enjoy doing.
I think.
What is it about marketing that you enjoyed?
Well, honestly, I picked it just because it kind of went hand in hand with the skills I got from journalism. And in Derby, apart from the radio station, there was no other job opportunity in journalism, unless I would move to the media city in Salford, which I would have loved to become a producer, don't get me wrong. But just, I don't know, the time and every decision just went that way. And then I like the creativity of, I don't know, you can use videos, photos, the copywriting and everything I learned already. I just needed to put them in practice in a certain way, you know. And I went into a marketing intern role at the university, working for 2 of the colleges, promoting the courses, attracting new students and so on. Then I joined the inward investment agency for Derby and Derbyshire. So we had a community of bondholders, over 300 businesses, which now I'm one of them as well.
So that's like an incubator type thing to support startups, or?
It's kind of like attracting investment in Derby, but also supporting the businesses. A networking group, newsletter where you can send press releases and so on. So all getting together to support Derby and Derbyshire and attracting new investment in the city and county. That's the main idea of the company. Worked there for about 3 years, and then went into an agency, learned a bit more about ads. And then joined I was working freelance at that time as well. And then I had to go back into working full time, and I joined a tech company, which it kind of helped me realize I'm more creative and just made me take this step
Yeah.
for real this time.
To go on your own.
Yeah.
So what were you doing for the tech company? What was your
Also
role
digital
there?
marketing. Yeah.
Were you part of a team or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was part of the global team. They had, it's a global company,
Yeah.
very big, Technia it's called, and they have different countries: Germany, Sweden, India, the UK as well. But I was part of the global team, which is
Okay.
based in the UK.
Yeah.
And we were supporting the overall company, but also different other groups of marketing executives from other countries as well.
What part of that role, like why, I'm always curious to know why people don't just stay in their corporate role. You know, entrepreneurialism is really difficult and it's not for everyone. And you take on the risk and responsibility of bringing in income, paying your bills, you're the accountant, you're your own marketer. Like you said, you've got more than three.
Yeah.
You've got three
Main
big
one.
hats,
Yeah.
but probably each one of those
Yeah.
has another 10 hats
Yeah.
underneath. What was it that made you have that feel like I want to go and strike out on my own? And how did you make that decision? Did you save up money so you had a bit of a cushion? Did you work freelance, gain enough clients to earn the same as when you were working and then make the move? How did that transition happen?
So I started doing visual storytelling and building my website and building clients and everything whilst I was working full time.
Okay.
From January or before January, I can't remember exactly, but at some point I started working part-time, just having Friday off.
Yeah.
I asked my manager at that time if I can do this. Other people were doing it already, and he was very, very nice about it. Be like, why? Which I thought it's a strange question at the beginning. And then when I told him about photography, he bought a camera for me and sent me to Germany to take some interviews, part of their springboard. So I really believe it kind of all arranged in my favor and
happened for a reason.
putting me this on this road. Yeah, exactly. And he's like one of the biggest supporters now as well. I didn't really feel fulfilled because the creative ideas I had, you can't really implement them in a tech company.
Yeah.
It's more serious. The clients are, a completely different target audience than what I would use to send my ideas to. I don't know. I didn't really feel like I'm making the big difference that I feel like I can make for someone and helping them in a much bigger way and feeling like, I don't know, they can do that on their own and stuff like that. Like we were helping other teams, don't get me wrong, and I loved it working with my team, and everything that happened there was all very professional. And they are going through a rebrand as well. I actually felt sorry it actually got implemented when I left because these visuals and everything look awesome. But yeah, I think it just worked out for the best and made me realize I'm kind of like not using my skills the way I could use them to the max. And
so you kind of feel a bit, I mean, I know when I was at Thomas Cook, which is 12, 13 years ago now, I just felt a bit unfulfilled.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't as challenging as it could be. And yes, we were doing group finance. Yes, Thomas Cook had shareholders. So it's important to create the numbers for the shareholders, etc. But I wanted to be working directly with that business owner and to be able to do something like you're doing where you can see the before and after and have an impact. And
exactly.
Ideally, for me, that business owner, so our ideal client, owns their business, isn't invested.
Yeah.
So if you can help them improve their business, they earn more money, that supports their family. Like that is fulfillment then. So you're willing to take all of the hard work and the stress and the long nights and everything else because the payoff is bigger.
Yeah. I think I was working for sort of for the money and going into the corporate jobs just for having a bigger role and having more money, but just that mindset of coming from uni and you want to achieve more. Then I ended up realizing it's not unfulfilling necessarily, and if you just stay there but don't enjoy, I don't know, you have a program for 8 hours a day, right? That's your schedule at work, but some of the days, even if you work less, at the end of the day you would still feel drained and not really having more energy to do something that fulfills you. And that's why it's just I
think that's really important as well. Even within your business, you should start to, when you can anyway, hire people around you for the bits that drain your energy and stay in the bits that build your energy.
Yeah, true.
I think that's so important. Only something I realized recently, like I do that. I might be feeling tired, like I am today. We spoke about having a busy weekend. When you've got kids, you don't really have any time to recharge on the weekend. You just go. So by Monday, you feel sometimes like I just would like to go back to bed, for a few hours. But always when I do the podcast afterwards, I feel energized and motivated and inspired to go on with the rest of my day. So I'll go straight into the office and then I'll do a work block. Usually, I won't go to bed afterwards unless I'm ill or something. So then you realize, okay, podcasting is something you enjoy. Like we do this and we have founder stories for enjoyment and not as a lead generation. People always ask me, why have you got the podcast? How are you generating leads? Are you inviting your ideal clients, or no, are you doing this? Are you doing that? And that's not why we started the podcast. We started a podcast with no long-term vision of what the benefit would be. It was just an enjoyable project. But I think sometimes if you operate your business like that, you end up getting the most reward anyway, because you're doing it out of passion. Yeah. Rather than just trying to make more money. Exactly. Yeah. If you would act on your enjoyment, it would take you somewhere where you love to be. And I think so. I've always wrestled with the idea of, do you do something, and do you advise people if they're thinking about starting a business to do something that will make them money or something they enjoy? But if you can do both, then I think it's great. It's always good to have a hobby though outside. I mean, we spoke about you living in Derby and being able to go for walks and things like that. At the moment, because you're in that real growth phase, you started your business February, March, April, May, June, July, 6 months roughly ago. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So are you just work all the time, or do you still like box off time for your own health and hobbies? That's what I'm trying basically, because that's why I was like, well, the full-time job for corporate doesn't really bring me that fulfillment. What brings me the fulfillment? Being able to act on my excitement when I want. Yeah. Of course, someday you need to have a schedule and be there for yourself as you would be for someone else if you would be working for someone else. But I'm trying to follow this enjoyment and not feel bad for feeling sick one day, for example, and not being able to do, work on the website, which is always work in progress anyway, or stuff like that. And it depends on the day. I have days where I'm really, really focused on doing something, editing photos, updating the website, so on. And some of the days where I'm like, I should take it slower a bit and balance it a bit more. And then on those days, do you pick your admin that you need to get done? You'll still work, but you'll do tasks that aren't necessarily as involved mentally? Or do you just take... I prefer the creative ones. Yeah. Those are the ones. Okay, so on the days where you're not feeling good though, and you're not in that creative headspace, do you still work and do the admin stuff? Bookkeeping or whatever it is, collecting your receipts, giving them to your bookkeeper, for whatever. Me, or do you just take time off and go for a walk in the Peak District? Like, what do you do? So it depends on the day and how I'm feeling. I could take the whole day off. Yeah. Or... for me, doing the admin tasks and everything are more draining, so I prefer doing the creative ones. Oh, okay. For me, so even if you're feeling low on energy, you'd go towards creative. That's interesting. I just assume that actually you need to be fully energized and on it. Like for me, if I want to work in deep focus on something creative, not creative like creative, because you're an accountant, but creative like I don't know, mapping out a new sales process, or at the moment, I really want to bring in financial forecasting for everyone, even the smaller businesses that come on board. So I'm sitting and I'm mapping out like, how could we do forecasting? How could we do cash flow forecasting and make it cost effective for small businesses, because they need it, but we've never been able to offer it because it takes too much time. So we have to charge too much money, but they need it. So like that stuff where I have to think, I can only do that when my Whoop is telling me I'm in the green, right? If I'm in the red, I'm just doing team meetings, emails, admin, bits of client work, and then I'll sign off. If that makes sense? Yeah. But you're saying you'd go into creative because that would energize you anyway. For me, the creative part, though, it's as you said with the podcast for yourself. Yeah. So doing the photos, go into it low and you'll come out high. Yeah, and editing the photos and everything as such, it's not really a process of
thinking of ways to strategize and
Yeah.
think about prices and stuff like that. So I
So you
understand
can
what
just
you
get
mean
into
with
it.
creative.
Yeah,
But
okay.
yeah,
So for you,
yeah.
you know
Creative is
that.
actually the creative part for me.
Yeah.
Even if I feel like, as you said with the podcast, if you feel drained at the beginning, but then I go and set up a product photo shoot studio
Yeah.
and actually make myself start doing it,
Yeah.
I completely forget how I felt before starting.
Yeah, because you're in flow. Right?
Yeah. But it's just
That's
that
interesting.
click of, okay, let me go start it.
Yeah, which
Even
is
if
really
I
good
don't,
advice
and
for
that's
people.
it.
Yeah, if you're feeling like not good, and you have a tracker or a wearable like me that told me I was at 28% this morning, which is like you should rest. Sometimes actually, if you just go and take that first step, which I've heard so much,
Yeah.
even like going to the gym or working or anything, just take that first little step, go into the office, sit down, get the pen out, start writing. Then sometimes you can find 3 or 4 hours go by and
Yeah.
actually you've been really productive.
Depends on the task as well and how
Yeah.
you feel, of course. But yeah, usually it's working. But I'm not sure. For me, it's not a process, at least in my opinion. It's not very much thinking
Yeah.
from like coming from the front brain thinking, mind thinking.
Yeah.
It's more from, I don't know, the heart, or just letting that intuition basically flow and be like, I don't know, watching through the lens and, oh yeah, I need to adjust that angle a bit and
Yeah,
stuff
in a
like that.
calm
For
way,
me, it's
right?
not really thinking. It just comes.
Yeah, it's natural.
Yeah.
So if you're tired,
Sort
do the
of.
things that you find easy
Yeah,
and natural,
and
right?
actually bring you enjoyment. And
Yeah.
if that's a movie for 2 hours,
Yeah.
I think it's better to take that step and then you'll feel better
After.
and be more productive after,
Yeah.
rather than be like, oh yeah, I need to work, and then go and work and spend 2 hours doing nothing, and
Yeah.
then at the end of that time you feel bad that you didn't follow what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
It's not a work that you want to use, and it's just
And
you
you might
lost 2
start to
hours.
resent your business. I think it's really
Yeah.
great that you have that attitude those 6 months in. I definitely didn't. I was work, sacrifice friends. It's just time with family or working on the business. Work 6.5 days a week and pay no attention to yourself whatsoever. Just get it done.
Mm-hmm.
But for you to have that awareness, I just think probably I'm older than you. I'm 42 this year. So I'm 12 years older than you. I think that sort of generation or half generation coming through behind me are way more self-aware than we were when we started. And there's still a hustle culture, but there's also a culture of taking care of your mental and physical health, in order that you should know if you start a business. I mean, some people get rich in 1 or 2 or 3 years, and we do have some clients like that, but most people, they're in it for it's a long-term game.
Yeah.
So the longer you can consistently work, even if that's 3 or 4 hours a day versus 10, if you do that for 20 years, just consistently, you're going to be super successful, right?
Yeah.
But if you burn out, you
Yeah.
could give up.
Yeah, you'll go backwards a few steps and you
Yeah,
might
I
feel
mean,
bad.
you're 6
or
months in, and
whatever.
50% of businesses in the first year fail. Not to scare you while you're on the podcast, I think 97% now fail in the first 5 years,
Okay.
which is a
That's
crazy stat, isn't it?
Horrendous, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But they fail mostly because they have a lack of a view on their numbers. So that's another.
Okay.
They definitely neglect, which we're not going to talk about today, but they definitely neglect visuals and creative, but they also bury their head in the sand around numbers. So something bad will be coming, whether it's a big tax bill or lose a client, or they haven't done any risk management, or if I lose this client, what would I do? Where would I get funding from?
Yeah.
That happens, and there's no way to unravel it, so they fail. They might start another business after,
Yeah.
but the stat of that business is failure. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go positive again. When you started, before you got on with the business, did you do a one-page business plan? Did you write out a vision? Did you write out your ideal customer avatar? Like, are you the kind of person that writes stuff down and creates a structured plan like me? Or did you just start doing it?
Kind of just started doing it.
Okay. How's that going?
Well, it's always work in progress.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a perfectionist anyway, so you probably understand. And
Yes.
how is it being your own creative manager and everything else, you
Yeah.
always have something to improve on,
Yeah.
which is good. It means you are growing, and you can look back and be like, well, it wasn't good at that time, it was the best I could do,
Yeah.
but now I can do better, and let's do it. If we can, why not?
Yeah.
So my website, for example, it's always work in progress. I started with building that
Yeah.
whilst I was working. And I had my Instagram profile just sharing my photos for a while. I started just by sharing my mobile photos. I didn't have a camera on my own at that time.
Okay.
And that's how it actually, the idea came up for me. Just seeing the feedback, and from my friends and everyone just meeting me after, I don't know, for example, a colleague from university, she is in China.
Yeah.
Left right after the university finished, and saw her last year during the summer, and she was like, oh yeah, I was speaking to another one of our old colleagues about your photos. What about my photos? And then another person said something the same, and so on. And I was like, okay, maybe I should do this. It's weird because like my partner, now fiance, the first gift for me on the Christmas day, the first Christmas we had together, was a camera.
Yeah.
He just saw that. I didn't see it at that time. At uni, the first year, in the first semester, we had a module, photojournalism. As well, I got very good feedback, but I didn't find a story with the photos. I just been told, oh, you take really nice photos, but you don't have the story. As in like the clickbait, you know, how they are looking for in news stories. Again, I didn't take it in consideration, and so on. And there were multiple stuff that happened throughout the years that kind of pointed me in that direction. And then again, my manager, as I told you, buying me that camera in October, I think it was, last year. And then in November, I went to Germany to film those people and take a few photos of them as well. Again, another thing that you should do that. And I just started building it step by step with being more consistent on Instagram, but just to test the power of visuals. I had no marketing in place, no marketing strategy,
no funnel, things like that.
No, although I work in marketing, and I should know what to do, and I always advise people to do stuff based on their target audience and so on. I just chose to just share my visuals to test, are they like good, and like is it worth investing in visuals without having a marketing strategy, which seems to be more complicated for some people. So like if you learn the photos and those attract attention, then you can with time improve on copywriting and so on.
Because the traffic's there but it's not going anywhere, so then you can add that in afterwards.
But if you only do the copywriting but you have very plain photos, would anyone read the text you put there? So that's why I thought, just first do those, and then focus on copyright. And with no strategy in place, I got like an average engagement rate of around 36%, which for the industry being 4% in general, it's very big. And engagement, for people that don't really know these terms, it's likes, shares, comments, saves. All of these together based on how many followers you have and how much reach you have. Now, for businesses actually wanting to promote themselves on Instagram or other platform, they need to be consistent. They need to have the same message over and over again and so on. Like there are multiple stuff to take into consideration. So the platform actually puts you in front of more people. And so on. So my reach wasn't really high at all, just because I didn't have a plan to when to post and stuff like that. But the engagement was, which actually proved my point. And then I built the website. It was a very basic version at the beginning, all over the place, just because I had so many ideas and didn't know how to put them all into a page that looks okay. I'm not a website designer by any means. I just done that as part of my jobs throughout the year. So I had these few skills there and there. Focused on the visuals because that's what I'm promoting. And it's I actually launched just a new version a few days ago. Much pleased with this one.
So you're not just picking out a Squarespace, is it, template and things like that? You're building it yourself, so you've got creative control of it. It's sort of
a template, but then you pick different sections. I don't know, picture and text
Yeah,
word
that would be like ours.
reviews
Ours is
or
on
stuff.
Webflow, I
Yeah,
think. So
yeah.
you can pick a template, but then it's custom designed
Yeah,
for you. Right?
yeah, and you custom make the colors, you add your
Yeah.
brand colors and so
Yeah.
on. I created the logo, picked the name as well.
Okay. So you didn't bring someone in to do logo, branding, all that stuff. You did it
Nothing.
yourself.
Yes, everything.
Okay, that's cool.
I had my partner helping me on some things behind the scenes with SEO, stuff that are more like admin sort of for me,
Yeah.
and I don't really like them. Like whenever it comes a time to do like a contract or stuff like that, I'm like, can you do this template for me?
Yeah.
It drains me so much. And I focused on the creative ones, like even spending hours on those.
Yeah.
Maybe I feel tired at the end, but I'm like so pleased and so
Yeah,
fulfilled.
because you can see the output, right? So
Yeah.
you already know, I guess, as your business scales and you can afford to, who you'd hire to be a person to do those
Yeah,
contracts
definitely.
and chase up signatures or proposals that have been sent, or
Yeah.
press for payment on a big corporate client that might, they might pay 60 to 90 days or whatever
Yeah.
it might be. And then you can carry on in your genius zone.
Yeah.
How did you decide when you sit down at your desk now, I guess, rather than did, because you're in it, you're in the first year. How do you decide, because you're full-time on the business now, how to split your time between doing the work, working on your business, and if you're working on the business, how do you decide, this is just a question for me that I'm always super interested in how people's brains work. How do you decide what to do first? So like in your business, there's probably 30 different things you could do if
Yeah.
you sat at your desk and said, okay, I'm going to work on improving my business. You could split them into attracting clients, converting clients, and delivering to clients. But if you take delivering out and say, okay, on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or whatever, I'm doing the work,
Yeah.
assuming that people only book in photo shoots on those days.
Yeah.
If you're on the business, how do you decide what to do?
So of course delivering comes first. That's the most urgent task always.
Yeah.
And then the others, I'm trying to think of the outcome.
Okay.
So let's just take the example with the website.
Yeah.
I want to create a new page, but then I also want to post something on social media just because I feel like doing so.
Yeah.
Which one of them is bringing an outcome faster and which one is more important? And in that case would be the website, because then I have more things to promote.
Yeah.
Or if someone clicks on the website, of course that's more urgent. That would bring probably a lead.
Yeah.
Whilst the Instagram is just as I please, or to prove the engagement.
Yeah.
Or it could bring a lead, but sometimes, most of the times the people I'm aiming at reaching
Yeah.
are not on Instagram, or if they are, that's on their own time. So
Okay.
would probably be LinkedIn for me more,
Yeah,
for
'cause they're
example.
business owners.
Yeah.
So
That's how I kind
would
of
you
balance.
develop a routine, do you think, of certain things that you just do daily, like a checklist, like a LinkedIn post that happens every day, or reach out to potential, do you have that yet? Or is it just sit down, like you said, brain dump down the things that you think you need to do and then circle the top 3 based on outcome?
It depends. That's what I'm trying to act on the excitement. But at the moment, I'm just being consistent with one post with the creative marketing campaigns. I call this series Picture Perfect Campaigns, and I'm just giving once a week ideas for, I don't know, a safari park, a manufacturer, a jewelry maker.
Yeah.
Every week there's another type of business that I'm providing.
Oh, so you're
campaign.
giving out almost like a free campaign or
Yeah.
a free case study that
Yeah.
they can pick up.
Well, I can't do those now, but
Yeah.
these ideas come to me. Why
Yeah.
not sharing them? And if someone likes them, do this on your own. Or if
Yeah.
you want to work with me, perfect. If not, just go and do with your marketing department. But I'm just trying to encourage people to stand out from the crowd, literally. I feel like everyone is focused on sales, but not really willing to invest in the creative bit. And if you look at media, everything that's happening with the big brands and so on, those that stand out from the crowd done something that is really
you're totally
unique.
right. Like if you look at clothing, a brand that I love of recent years is Represent, and they went they ran for 6, 7, 8 years doing under $1 million in sales. I think they brought in a new managing director, I think a new creative director. They started creating campaigns. The visuals and the campaign stuff is the most important. And they did 8 million I think last year, 80 million I think the year after, and they're going to do 800 million this is all rough. I think they're looking at 888 as like it's marketing, right? But they basically 10x'd every year for 3 years. One of the fastest growing companies in the world. And it is all around. Like they don't have complex, like they don't have ads running, complex ad funnels, like focused on the sales process. It's just all about the visual and telling the brand story.
Exactly. That's what sells, because people want that authenticity. You want to feel the emotion behind the brand. You want to understand their reason why they do that. And if it resonates with you, you'll buy.
Like even for an accountant, you're going to see this is how they do business. These are the type of people that they have in the team. This is how they help people. And then for the owner, it's creating that page which reflects who I am as an owner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm just learning as I'm asking you questions. That's why I'm like pausing in between and thinking, right? Because it is a big eye-opener, because businesses will get sold all the time on lead gen activities.
I know,
Email marketing, run Facebook ads, do LinkedIn spam campaigns.
Which brings sales.
But no one has ever emailed me saying you should work on your visuals and your brand storytelling.
I don't think people are open to doing that much. It's not really a priority because you don't see it bringing you sales straight away. Whereas an ad, you invest a certain amount, then you can double it or whatever.
Yeah.
And people, if they're going after the money, of course, they will choose the option that's most likely to bring faster money.
Yeah.
But I think you need to think long term.
Yeah.
Like you need to invest in your image, in your brand. Just try and build that connection with your audience. That's what visual storytelling is all about.
Yeah.
Storytelling.
Yeah.
What's a story doing? It's creating something, inside you, an emotion or something that makes you feel something.
Yeah.
And then you feel, I don't know, I remember this one. Oh yeah. And it just starts discussion. And you just, I don't know, when you think about, was a really simple ad from, I think, Ryanair or someone. Anyway, a low-cost airline.
Yeah.
Having a pizza box open with a pizza, and then next to it, a pizza box open, empty, but it had a tower of Pisa inside of it. Basically, the same price for a pizza or to go visit a very nice area that everyone speaks about, you can get pictures of and so on.
Okay.
And like you can balance these, and what would you choose? Spend 20 on the pizza or the travel? Or you can buy both, but the idea is that
they're equating like the cost of something that has not much value and is gone really quickly to something where you create memories and all of this stuff.
Yeah,
right?
And just by showing the Tower of Pisa, you would already
normal routine, right?
So, for example, in photography, the product photography, you can't do much storytelling unless you actually add a person, but you can do a bit of emotion and tell the story, even having a plain background, but you add something on your product or next to your product.
Yeah.
And I know people are using these more and more in product photography, but it can be done, as I said, in just headshots and stuff like that. For example, mine has a plain background, but it's the color of my brand.
Okay.
But I have the camera in front of me, like I would shoot something. So I already say I'm a photographer, right?
Yeah, and the whole thing, I guess, you would advise people that there should be alignment between the website, the social platforms.
Yeah, definitely.
What you're posting yourself on your story or on LinkedIn or wherever, even down to, I guess, how you present yourself. Yeah,
consistency is everything, and it's more or less like a rule in marketing to repeat the same message over and over again. And you might think it's weird, and I thought for myself the same, but then I was like, well, I would advise actually someone to do that. Why am I not doing it? People forget what you say. Like, you have to repeat a few times. You have to, even in the copy of an ad, you have to have a hook and then repeat the same and so on, and then end with the same idea. It's the same in social media. Link that with your website, link that with your sales pitch and so on. Repeat the same message over and over again. You might get tired of it, but people don't remember it as you think they would. It's, repetition.
I agree. And I guess sometimes even with us, we feel like, and I get this from talking to my clients as well, they've got something really powerful to offer business owners. Like, for example, look at my stat of 96-97% of businesses fail. And the failure rate of businesses, because we've been going for 13 years now, that we've had as clients is 0.05%. Why is that? Because they implement our system.
Mm-hmm.
They have visibility on what's coming down the road. They have access to capital and cash flow, and they understand the numbers. To me, I want every business to have that.
Mm-hmm.
Not just so I can make more money, so I can help them, because that gives me fulfillment, because I make enough money already. But I can't get my message out there because probably my visuals, my consistency, my storytelling is not good enough. It's random. The message in there is good. I don't know if my point is coming across, but
I know. Yeah.
Can you help business owners who are really struggling with reach and getting an impact and impacting more people if what they're saying is actually really valuable?
Of course.
Like, we're trying to understand why.
Yeah. Usually what's working on social media in general is to focus more on brand awareness.
Yeah.
Assume that most of the people that see you never saw you before.
Yeah.
And that's why repeating the same message over and over again kind of builds that image, builds that trust.
Yeah.
They convert into followers, so they're already your audience. But now you have to nurture them. So I would say 50% brand awareness of all the content you post.
Yeah.
And then go into 35% nurturing.
Yeah.
And then actually sells the 15% left.
Okay.
So you have to give them value, and you are with your content, because I saw what you post. It's all very good.
Yeah, it's just really
It's
interesting.
a lot,
that
though.
the most valuable posts that we post, for example, get the least amount of reach. So I'll post something that explains literally the formula to grow your business, and it got something like 52 views yesterday. But if there's a picture of me like in an Ibiza nightclub with my top off, like not even dancing, just a static image with some music over it, which is a 4-second looped reel, that got like 170,000 views. So anyway, we don't have to do a coaching session, but
It would be good
like for
to
us,
just advise.
like I would love to unpack that.
Do you
I
think?
guess that's how you help people, to try and understand, like, we put marketing out and we have a marketing team in the Philippines, marketing manager, full-time video editor, who's an award-winning filmmaker actually. She's amazing, and a funnel builder. But what we don't have is anyone, now I'm talking to you, I'm realizing this, and lots of the viewers, listeners will be in the same position, I'm sure. So they have all the executors, but
Not
the
the
owner
creative.
themselves is not an expert. They don't have anyone at the top saying, this is what we're trying to achieve, this is a story we're trying to tell, here's the brand guidelines, here's the, like, how we take the images, here's how it gets approved. And then every month or quarter or whatever, reviewing what has happened and saying, well, here's how you could have changed that or made it better.
If you look at it really quickly, why do you choose Instagram as your platform for accounting? How many people?
So originally we had health and fitness as a key niche. We decided to focus on one niche at a time. Now we've grown to be big enough that we work with most businesses. We have 8 to 10 key niches that we work in. But now we've realized LinkedIn is where all of our potential clients live,
I was about to say.
not Instagram.
No.
But I'm just in that habit now of daily updating my story, daily posting reels. And so we're trying to learn about, like, okay, well, for LinkedIn, you can't post a story, can you? So how do I become ever present on LinkedIn? Like, how should LinkedIn be? But yeah, it was because we had health and fitness as a niche, and that's where all the, like, online trainers hung out.
So if that's your niche, first of all, as
But
an
it isn't
advice.
now. It isn't now.
Okay.
Our top 3 now, for example, would be creatives and creative agencies like yourself, retail e-commerce businesses, like big high growth online retail, for example.
Those would be on Instagram, but
they would only be on Instagram, I think, to post their own content. The owners are on LinkedIn.
or in their personal time. Yes.
Yeah, the owners are on LinkedIn. Or let's say those are the top 2, right? That we're targeting right now.
But even so, if you choose any platform, if you don't say the actual niche,
Yeah.
people don't really tend to listen because they don't know you're speaking to them.
Yeah.
So even with the fitness coaches or stuff like that, they would probably be on Instagram more than the other people. But if you just start by accounting and stuff like that, they might not even know they have that problem.
Yeah.
Or I'm not looking at numbers, for example. So if you don't start with something, creatives need to look at numbers because, or as simple as that. I might not stop because I'm not interested in numbers. I'll scroll.
Yeah.
You need to put yourself in the shoes of that person and think, what are they doing? What are they thinking? What are they scrolling for? Are they looking at something specifically or not? And I feel like you can find most of the information on Google, and if you do a bit of research. But if not, it's just a matter of imagination. And you would, like, we would do these personas, they're called in uni as well.
Yeah.
And that's how you start a campaign or everything, by just identifying that persona first.
Yeah.
Making sure you know their interests, you know what they're doing, what they're not doing, what they are good at, where they just don't like doing at all, and they avoid that. And if you can help them with that, that's where you enter and phrase your visual and your copy based on.
I think that's the missing part, because I think that we understand their pain points, we create content around their pain points, we can say, hey, business owner, or we can rotate week by week, targeting different niches.
Exactly.
But
business owner is very
have
general.
the visual storytelling. That's the missing piece. I think a lot of businesses will be like that. It's all very random, and it's not curated to understand the importance of the visuals. Not just the quality of the visuals, but is that visual actually telling a story?
Exactly. I see a lot of ads, especially on YouTube, where people have this sort of setup.
Yeah.
Nice lights. Everything looks perfect, and the quality and everything, it's spot on.
Yeah.
But it's just like, hey, business owners. And I'm like, yeah I'm one, but what else,
Yeah.
Just, I think you need to be more focused, more targeted. And even if you have to create 3 funnels, different ones. Maybe just the first step, it's different. So you target exactly that person. And then when you have them, their attention already. Yeah. You can have...
You can open up then,
one of the content you have can maybe work for all 3 niches. But the first one probably doesn't.
To get them in.
Yeah.
What are some of the biggest mistakes that you see business owners making around marketing, specifically related to creative storytelling and visuals?
Honestly, I'm not really looking at what problems they have or what they do wrong. But throughout the years, I noticed
Okay, so if you've gone in, let me phrase that differently. If you go into a business and they've hired you, what are some of the things that typically you'll fix or you'll do differently?
Well, the visuals.
Yeah.
Of course.
So visuals are not good enough, basically.
I'm looking at how their social media, mainly, because that's what I want to focus on, looks like. But if it's the website... visuals on the website, of course. But I'm trying to see if it's consistent, if it's a message told by images, because that's what attracts attention firstly.
Okay.
If that message is consistent.
And probably most of the time there's a massive disconnect between a website that someone's created as a really nice standalone project, and then they're managing their own social media account, right?
If it's you posting as the person behind the brand, you could have stuff differently. You don't have to use your logo or stuff every time. It's good to use the colors and have a bit of branding, but you don't have to be that branded as the company page would be,
Okay.
There's a difference. The company is more professional, the person, it's more personal, of course. And actually brands nowadays are working towards these employee influencers, where they use their employees to promote the life behind the scenes, the product, how it came to life, or the service, or stories of the customers and stuff like that, because you would trust that, like, that person already works there. It builds more trust, probably easier and faster than just the company page, because you already look at the company as being salesy, and that's marketing for sure. But then the person can be marketing kind of like tailored into a more authentic story.
Yeah, I guess if you look at Represent, the founder of that is called George Heaton. He runs it with his brother. And if you look at his feed, it's what he's into. Fitness, cars, nice food. But he's always wearing Represent, or he'll take pictures at a shoot and then every fourth or fifth post will be behind the scenes, linked through, but in an authentic way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's it, storytelling, right?
Yeah.
He's telling a story, but he's building that story into his life story.
Yeah.
It's not just in your face sales. I know people like to invest in cold calling and everything as such. I understand the power of those, but I feel like in the long term, if you would invest the same amount, I don't know, just make it half-half, I would say.
Yeah.
Do this so you can bring the investment in and continue do what you do.
Yeah.
But then also invest in the long-term image of your brand and actually building that brand story.
Yeah,
Businesses are businesses. Brands is the image of the business.
Yeah.
Like people just focus on the business side, and forget that branding approach.
Yeah, I agree with that. And when we do budgeting with clients, we have 2 lines: general brand building, and then the funnel-based stuff. And it's really interesting because you might say, okay, this business turns over 100,000. They've got 50,000 of free cash flow. So for people to understand that, they've got 50,000 of physical cash flow every month coming in, increasing their bank balance. So if you set a budget for brand building, it has to come out of that free cash flow because you're not going to see a return. But if you don't do that, which I now realize, I think it's quite good for this episode to be almost like a mini coaching session, because I am the type of person that doesn't understand and never did. Now, from when I first met you, I started and been thinking since that conversation and this one, all the things that we need to do in the next quarters and adding projects on around visuals and the importance of that.
Happy to hear
And I'm sure
that.
we'll work together at some point, for sure. It's like I would set a tiny budget of 5% with my clients and with me, and it's not enough. So if we set a budget for overall, maybe that goes up to 10 or 15% of income. I mean, which is significant if you're generating 100,000 of sales and you're spending 15,000 a month on brand building. If you can afford to do it and at the right phase in your business, it will mean in the long term, actually, the leads will start to come through from all of those long-term activities and people just finding you and being ready to buy and not having to be pushed into it. And you can actually probably lower the spend on the short-term sales funnel stuff, right? Because the funnel stuff, if you budget for that, ultimately it's impossible to budget for. You basically say, okay, well, you've got, I don't know, $5,000 a month to spend for the first 3 months on the test. If the test doesn't work, you have to stop because you've run out of money. But if the test works and every 5k you're spending, you're generating 15, just go and get more money. So that's a whole different concept. But this is about having faith that if you're working with the right person and you invest money that you can afford to over the long term, it will start to pay itself back.
Definitely.
So how else do you differentiate yourself otherwise? Like, I'll get excited about this now because I believe we are the best, and I'm sure you believe you are the best at what you're doing. But how do you show that unless you're actually putting time, money and investment into showing it?
Well, I'm always trying to improve myself. I'm not by far perfect. I'm thinking the thing that differentiates me is basically, photographers are photographers based on visuals and that's it.
Yeah,
the
they're
imagery.
not marketers usually. They're
Exactly.
just
And I
photographers,
have
right?
this background in marketing that kind of helps me understand how businesses work. Sometimes people invest in a photo shoot and they have the photos, but no one tells them what to do with them.
Yeah, like I just did a 4-month diet in my head to tell a story loosely related back to business, but it was just for me. I did a bodybuilding competition when I was 17 and I won a junior British championships, and I felt like there was a lack of discipline in my life, so I decided to just bring discipline back by going on a diet where I have to track everything I eat, everything I do, every step I take for 4 months, with the goal of getting in better shape now at 42 than I was at, or 41 than I was at 17. Now I'm saying I can tell that story about how hard work still yields results. It doesn't matter what age you're at, and look at me then and look at me now, and the amount of weight I've put on, muscle, all of this stuff, just a transformation story. but then relate that back to if you're consistent and you're confident and you do the right things in the long term in your business, it will just incrementally grow. So I've got the photo shoot images, done nothing with them. Because I had the idea, and then in terms of how to execute
turning
that,
it around, into
I don't have
content.
an idea of how to execute that effectively, and I don't want to just give it to my marketing team because they'll do an average job. So I just have done nothing with it.
Yeah, that's what people usually do, or invest 5K in a video and then use it once.
Yeah, 100%.
And like you can get snippets of it and promote your business in different ways, not necessarily about that event or the next one that's coming. But I don't know, someone said something at some point, or there's an image that tells something, and you have to have that eye built into, those 2 seconds. Oh, we can use this to promote that story, and it's completely different. You would think they're not related, but not look at the video as a 15 minutes long journey, and that's all we can do with it. Same with the photos.
To have someone else outside your business, whether it's you, ideally it's you, or someone that comes in and says, you can do this from the outside perspective. Like, oh, Simon, you could tell a story of how you've been in business for 15 years, but 97% of businesses fail. And like how you've applied the lessons from your training to the business and how you use that with your clients. Somehow. I don't know if that's possible, but
Marketing can be done without the visuals. But if you combine those two, I think that's the winning
and do you do video
combination.
As well, or is it purely photography?
I try to focus on photography, but I'm actually doing a video for an event in November.
Okay.
So I'm combining those with photo shoots as well. I might see if I introduce it on the website or not.
Yeah.
But I'm not into those, the TikTok short videos with transitions and
stuff.
stuff.
Like conceptually, you could come up with the video script, and then even if you brought someone in
I've
to
done
actually
videos
shoot and edit.
From uni, like our news days were actually to go, like that was the assessment day, a whole news day, and you have to go outside, find the news, film it, take the interviews, and by the end of the day actually broadcast. Like one would be producer, one would be the presenter, and so on. And we would have a full 20 minutes bulletin with the stories that we produced. So I've done videos since then. When I was working at university, I used to do just with a camera handheld, very shaky at that point, but I was just acting on my creativity, and they let me do that, and it was super fun. Then for the company marketing derby as well, but just with my phone, the camera wasn't very good, and the phones would just start to have those great camera lenses at that time. So I would just use my phone and film their Food and Drink Awards, for example, and just do something more creative to promote the next one. And I've done a few.
Because you can tell the story, right? Like thinking about that insurance company example. You can use images, and I think you get your point across. But in a short video, if they'd already seen the image as well, they could see the emotion behind the people. Even and the relief that person had insurance. They're ill, but the family are supported, and these kind of things.
With the videos, though, it's better to keep them shorter.
Okay.
Again, attention spans are low. The first images need to be the best ones. And then the next one's your second best, and end one with the third best. And then just in the middle half, because you catch the attention, but then at the end make them remember you, not forget you.
How do you balance being authentic and creating the content that you want to with also content that converts? Because it's a struggle that I always have in my head. I think like, oh, F it. Do you know what? I'm just going to create the content. Like I like doing daily vlogs, so I take my phone around with me. Take it to the gym. I feel like showing people what supplements I take at 42 to stay in health, so I'll show that. Like I don't think about why I'm doing it, but you want a balance of both. Like how do you deal with that conflict if there is a conflict? Like I wouldn't dance around on TikTok, but there was a time when those were the videos that would get the most reach.
I would say, it might contradict with some other people's opinion, but authenticity is the best thing to do
over the long term.
If you don't get views at the beginning, you didn't find your perfect audience. But trying to be salesy, it might work for a bit, but then people will see through it. That's what I think. Like it might work. I'm not saying it won't, but for how long? And do you want to build that just for money? If so, do the things that sell fast.
Yeah.
But don't think you can do this for years. If it's a plan to do it because you enjoy it, I would say be yourself and do something that it's actually something that fulfills you. And
okay, so you can still do the exercise of working out the personas, working out what...
Yeah, of course.
Because actually, if you think about it, those are the things that you should be helping me with.
Of course, no.
So if I worked out my customers needed cash flow forecasting, and I'm not helping them and I'm not talking about it, I'm not being authentic, really, because I'm not actually offering a useful service.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And
okay, that makes sense.
Find the client, find their problem and everything, but present it in a way that's authentic with yourself.
Okay.
And just trust that in the long term, your personality and your service, if it's good, of course, and if you promote it to the right people, it will start building your brand and get leads and everything
again, be
else.
Consistent. Don't give up because you're not seeing results straight away. Set a budget that you can afford in the long term,
of course,
right?
yeah.
And time that you can afford to give in the long term. Because I think that's one of the biggest. You only gave me one mistake, but I'm going to give you one back. I think one of the biggest ones is that people might listen to this podcast and think, do you know what? I need to do this. I'm going to work out what I'm comfortable with. Like, I like taking pictures, but I'm not comfortable on video, so I'm going to do pictures. I'm going to invest in you. I'm going to look you up. I'm going to do your course or program or however you deliver it. We'll talk about that at the end. I'm going to get better on my phone. I'm going to create some regular content. And then they'll do that for 10, 12 weeks. And then because they don't see results or other stresses come in, client work, family, whatever, they just stop doing it.
Yeah.
And this is the biggest mistake I see in business, other than lack of like looking at your numbers, is you just don't do things for long enough.
Yeah. You want that instant gratification anyway, in general, in everything in life.
Yeah.
But it's not really working the same in business, is it?
No.
Like, there are so many.
Because that thing that works, that you've just been sold, whether it's cold email or the latest ad or whatever, that's transient, right? It will work for 3 months, the ad, then it will just instantly stop working. Whereas I think what you're advising people to do, it will never stop working. The medium, I mean, photography will never go away. It's been around forever. It will be around forever.
Yeah.
So will video. So will the complementary copy.
Yeah.
So if you invest in that, you're almost future-proofing yourself and almost de-risking the marketing side of your business, because you've got one thing over here. You've been doing it for so long, it's starting to generate traction. Yeah. That does not fluctuate with the algorithm.
No, it should. I mean, even with ads, for example, you invest in them, that's mostly to target the right person, right? But if your content is bad, the ad is not working, is it?
No.
So, like, the end thing that
Comes
makes the
down to
difference.
The do you think that, where do you sit on the vlog style content or deliberate, I guess it doesn't apply to images, but from a video perspective, the deliberate poor editing of video and making it look shaky and vloggy versus highly polished?
Are people doing that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, if you look at some people, especially bodybuilders who have videographers and a budget for a videographer to just follow them around all the time. That
edit with...
Or the videographer will say, I'm going to come on these days, but I want you to shoot with your iPhone on the other days, because that's what people want.
Yeah, the raw content.
Raw content, yeah.
But why do you think? It's also because it shows authenticity.
And you'll get shots that you wouldn't otherwise get, right?
It seems more less salesy.
Yeah.
And you can add more marketing techniques into it without people actually catching that idea from the first second.
For a small business, that could be win-win, because you don't have to employ a video. Okay, what do you...
It depends on the business. Like, if it's something, I don't know, yourself, it could work. If it's something like mine, I think the visuals, that's what I'm promoting, right?
Yeah.
It would be kind of silly of me to use the video.
Visuals, right? It could work, because you could tell your story.
I mean, you can go with your phone, like, behind the scenes, behind the photo shoot, and show that, but not necessarily show your service, because it doesn't match your service, you know? The quality and everything is not matching what you sell. But for yourself, it could work for a bodybuilder it could work.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It depends on the business, and it depends on your target audience. If they are interested in seeing the raw shot,
Yeah.
give them that.
And then I guess to come to our other point, it depends on what you want to do and what's
Exactly.
authentic to you. If you like
Decide on that
content,
first.
okay, decide on what you like to do.
And what you're confident and comfortable with. Because, for example, I'm not really comfortable with stories of me talking about, well, I visited this and that.
Yeah.
Might be interesting for some people.
Yeah.
However, I think my photos of those places with some text on it would have more impact because I'm still showing my work, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why for me, and I'm not even feeling comfortable with this, so
Yeah.
I'm okay with not doing it, you know?
Yeah. Would you establish that at the start in almost like your own written brand guidelines, even if it's sort of sketches down in a journal? Or would you just...
I think I just have it as an idea in my mind.
Yeah, because you're a thinker rather than like a structured planner, right?
I have some notes with ideas, but those are just ideas of content really for me, because sometimes I tend to have too many and then I have to put them somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
And then come back to them when I have more time to create them, basically.
Do you do that in a written journal, or do you do that online, put your ideas?
I have a Notion app and
add
I
tried
that there.
Notion, but I'm just too stupid for Notion.
I was at the beginning as well. I'm still not fully confident in using it, and sometimes if it's easier in just my notes on my phone,
if you haven't tried it,
I'll
guys,
do that
then
as well.
definitely check Notion out, because if you can work it out, it looks amazing. But you basically, it's like a database, right? You have to basically build it yourself.
Yes.
So it's cool. I've gone back to paper, pens, and a journal with different sections.
If I'm at home, definitely. I sometimes like to do both. Pen and paper.
Yeah.
But from Notion, I actually have I'm a fan of Grace Beverly, if you know her.
Oh yeah, I like Grace Beverly a lot.
For years,
really
she
like her,
launched the Grace Fit bands years ago.
Yeah.
That's when I heard about her and following her ever since. And she built this Notion app
for like
schedule,
goal setting and scheduling and all that.
with
okay, cool.
productivity method, I think it's called.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. She
that's
sold
what
out
I'm
of
using.
all of those journals before I could get one.
But I got the online version.
Okay,
I just thought that's always there.
Yeah.
And sometimes if I don't have my notepads with me, like it's easier, you know, when you travel or stuff like that, it's easier to keep that there.
So we ended up using Basecamp, if you've ever heard of that. It's a really cool book actually called Remote, which just talks about, which might be helpful for you as you grow and scale your team.
Yeah.
Because you can hire them wherever then. And it's just, they operate a business with thousands of employees. The software company is called 37 Signals, but they have this main flagship project management software called Basecamp. Super simple, like good for me. No programming yourself, no templates, no nothing.
Yeah.
They tell you how to work.
Yeah.
And you just have little mini projects everywhere.
Yeah.
So like we work in sprints, 3 sprints a year for 3 months with gaps in between. And we'll have 3 projects for each sprint. So each one of those will have a project in Basecamp. And if you wanted to, you could use it as a day-to-day. I have this little journal called the Productivity Planner. I've seen a few people, you can get it from Amazon. And it has like, what am I grateful for? What's my focus today? What are my personal tasks in priority order?
I love those,
And like, have you heard of the Pomodoro method? So basically you do 25 minutes with a 5-minute break. It asks you like, how many of those do you want to allocate to that task? And
that's
then
cool.
at the front of it, you put your goals for the quarter. And things you might want to do with your family. You can split them into personal. And it's really cool. Yeah. But if I lose that planner, I'm done. So I don't take it out of my office.
True.
What's been up to this point? I know you're not all the way in, but what's been your biggest struggle or current struggle in running and scaling your business?
Oh, it's probably the sales part, honestly, for me.
Getting
just because
with
I
that.
don't, I'm still working on that.
Well, you can help me with all things visual, and I'll be happy to help you with sales because I love sales.
I'm happy to do that. I don't know. I feel like people need to see the visuals to understand my point sometimes, or like just have a broader conversation. Yeah. But just, that cold reach, I'm not comfortable with that. And I know I should be calm, but I'm the creative part. I'm not an entrepreneur sort of person.
Yeah. I think it can work though, because I think the message that you have is almost like people would wake up. You could literally send them one sentence with your signature in on an email if you were compliant in GDPR and all of these things. Just asking them when was the last time you paid attention to your visuals?
Yeah.
I like it. They call it a 9-word email. For anyone listening, if you look up 9-word email on Google and you were able to build a list, ideally by them downloading your free guide, you've built that, you've got the email, and then you're sending them like content emails like Gary V talks about, jab, 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 hook. So if you give them value, and then you want to hit them with something, then you can ask them a question in 9 words. Yeah. It's really cool.
That's what I'm kind of trying to do on LinkedIn, but I'm going into a retreat for 10 days with no access to my phone from Wednesday.
Wow. That leads me into my next question. What are you doing? What are you doing to optimize mental and physical performance and health right now? So one of them is a retreat.
Yeah, no, this is the first one I'll do. I've never done anything.
What led you to doing a retreat?
I kind of worked on myself with, I don't know, you act in a certain way and then you think, oh, I didn't like how I did that or stuff like that. So for a few years, I'm kind of like analyzing myself and improving in certain areas. And I've noticed my mind, it's very all over the place and I can't quiet it. Like I can't.
I have that too. That's the mind of an entrepreneur.
Yes, I've heard about meditation. I just can't do that at home.
Yeah.
Unless, I don't know, I put it in my calendar and sometimes I even snooze that and so on. So like, and at some point I saw a video where they mentioned some retreats, Vipassana meditation it's called, and they have centers all over the world. And I was like, okay, I'll just Google it. And apparently they have one in the UK. Yeah. More actually, I think a couple of anyway. And you just have to apply, and if they approve your application, there are loads of people, you get on a waiting list and so on, and if people cancel, you might get into it or not. And I got into one of them, so I'm going, and I'm hoping to come back calmer and more focused and just being able and just being able to implement this every day. I have like waking up and not looking at my phone and like trying to improve my diet and sleeping pattern and making sure I have like a mental win every day and a bit of sport as well every day, and then the spirituality side of stuff as well. But some days, you know, are more hectic than others, and you end up missing some of them, and then it's just like a roller coaster. Sometimes you are fine, you're in the middle, sometimes and so on.
It sounds like you're doing a lot, and there are all these little small things that will have a big impact.
I
think you'd really like that productivity planner when you get back as well, because at the front, just reminding me, there's like a habit. I should use it. There's a habit section, so you can write those 6-8 things in, and you can tick them off.
Oh, I've put them in my Google Calendar. I had them on the wall at some point, written on a paper. I had them in so many different areas, but I don't know. I don't think I was that person before.
Then that's the most likely place you're going to get them done, right?
Like a task, and then you just tick them. But you need to be comfortable with not doing those. Sometimes.
Some days, for sure. And now I get up and I check my phone, and now I'm like, there's no morning routine. I get up. I reply to all my Google chat messages because some of my teams start really early from the Philippines or India. I quickly scan my emails, quickly scan my plan for the day, done, plan for the day, and then I'm off to the gym. So I've quickly looked at that, so I know I can go to the gym now, which is my meditation, for an hour and a half.
It depends on the person
think about it. So everyone's different. That's one thing I did learn over the last decade. Don't try and follow the best morning routine in inverted commas. Just try loads of different things and work out what's best for you.
Yeah, exactly. You can test it, but don't feel bad if you can't do it or it's not for you. It's not for you, and that's it. For me, I noticed not looking at my phone in the first half an hour or so. It's better for the whole day. I feel more agitated and more like all over the place when I do that. However, if it's something urgent and I need to hear from someone, speak with someone, reply,
like when you've got a big team and they might be working different time zones and things like that, it might change, right?
And for some people, as you said, you can do that and then go and have your own
I can switch. It
time.
allows me to switch off because I've got back to people, right?
I'm the same with businesses. Like I think like everyone is different, so every business is different correctly. I understand people that offer a service that fits all. However, you still need to tailor it a bit, right? Like
like for example, we have standard packages, but the way that we would create key performance indicators or a performance report or do cash flow forecasting, or like the way we execute the certain thing will be different for each industry. It's totally different. The budget template that we start with for an e-coms retailer
Yeah.
And the performance report is totally different to a marketing agency.
Exactly.
What they need to track is totally different.
Yeah. Same with photography. Like, I know some people like to have their own style and just edit one style, and sometimes it's easier to promote that.
Yeah.
People know what to expect from you. But me doing this for businesses, I feel the need to tailor it according to their brand image. It's warm, is it cool, and so on. And I like this. Like, I would get bored doing the same thing over and over again anyway. So for me, it works best. But for other photographers, they have their own style, and you know when you hire them.
Yeah,
that's why you go to them actually. For that style.
For sure.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think it sounds like then for you, the future would be, and I know you probably don't think this far ahead, you just focus on now more. I get that from you.
Trying to,
would be actually bringing people in that can work under the same philosophy as you, and you can train them and support them, and you grow an agency almost, rather than you just continuing to do it and developing maybe all these like low ticket online courses and things like that.
Probably with the workshops could work like this in the future. The workshops are basically tailored to you would go and practice photography. You would just understand a few rules, 3 or 4 on the day depending on the person. Again, those are tailored as well, to suit everyone's needs. But you would kind of like have that presentation first, and then you remember the rules. You can read them somewhere, and then go outside and actually practice. And you would take a shot. I would review it. I don't know, for example, with the phone, if you keep it like this, there's a photo. If you keep it like this, it's completely different photo, you know what I mean? And so on. And these are the stuff that I think...
Christina is angling her phone down or up.
Honestly, for tiny people as me, when someone takes a photo of me like this, because they are taller than me, it's like this, I look even tinier. For me, it's like just lower it a bit.
To eye level, right?
But my eye level, not their eye level.
Your eye level.
Like, you need the subject.
I know that from taking pictures. We spoke about that.
But see, like, some people don't know that. And actually, if I was able to teach my mom a bit and my partner a bit, and they have nowhere photography interest. Exactly. Nicer by time, they improve. But I'm not teaching them, like, it's just in time with like, oh, this picture, you could have taken it this way, and so on. So imagine in a day with just like 4 hours or so going around the city,
so much better.
In a busy environment such as
especially if you're out
shopping
with your partner and stuff like that, and you want to get pictures of you doing personal stuff for your business profiles. It can really help.
I need to,
Yeah, my wife just gives me a dirty look every time I ask her to take a picture of me.
We get
she
bored,
does it.
So, but
it's fine. She does it. She keeps me on my toes. Okay, I'm going to rapid fire some questions at you, and then we'll wrap things together with how people can get help from you, how they can contact you, and what it is your business can provide right now. So try and give, I can never do this, but as best as you can, try and give a short answer to these, and then we'll wrap through. Otherwise we'll do another 2 hours on this. Which is fine. We'll get you back in. It'd be really interesting to do another one in a year and see how that like 0.5 to 1.5 journey's gone. It would
be great, to see the difference.
For sure. How are you investing in your own learning? Or are you still operating off the back of recent learning through the degree and everything else?
Both at the moment. Of course, I'll use my skills. That's why I got them, I think. That's why I got to this point. And I'm always trying to see how the trends work, what's up there, what are other people doing, what are, I don't know, new business pain points and stuff like that.
But do you invest in any courses on photography, on videography, do you follow people? Like, how do you do your own, like, CPD, as they call it, your own learning, continual learning?
I don't have a plan at the moment on doing any courses as such. I think personal development for me comes first in this area, because I think I have the skills already.
So like the retreat is investing in yourself, right? Yeah,
I think I need that mentality work more at the moment.
Yeah, because
but
you're
I'm not
close
ruling
to
it out.
Yeah,
I'm not ruling it out in the future, of course.
That makes sense. In terms of how do you attract new customers, I guess at the moment you're just putting out great content and they're coming to you.
Yeah, well,
it's referrals maybe.
Yeah, it's word of mouth at the moment.
Do you have a referral scheme, or people just refer and you say thank you?
It depends on the client. I actually help small businesses, startups with some discounts at the beginning. I know they need the help, and I'm happy to help them.
Any discount codes for our viewers, listeners? Go
Yes, founder stories. Let's make that the code.
Cool, awesome.
And we'll give a 10%.
Amazing.
On their photo shoot or management on social media.
Brilliant.
Or the business workshops, whichever package
I'll
they
put the
choose.
link in the code in the description.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I was only asking that to be cheeky, but that's cool.
No, I was about to say that anyway. So,
so
whenever they
through
contact
referrals
me,
when you're starting, I think for anyone and for you, my advice would be really focus on that. Because if you're not getting referrals, the work isn't good enough. And if you are getting referrals, it's a real nice way of knowing that you are delivering above expectation.
Reviews are everything anyway, and you can use them as content afterwards as well to prove that trust and authenticity that you
Reviews,
can provide.
Case studies, and all of that at the time, rather than just moving on to the next client.
Okay,
of course. That's super important.
And social media, more or less, depending on time. Of course, clients come first, but I'm planning to be more consistent on there when I come back from the retreat as well.
Okay. What are you focused on in terms of making sure that client is really wowed by your output at the end of the project or at the end of the workshop?
Well, I'm starting with understanding their brand, their story, their pain points, and what they actually want to achieve.
Okay.
With the photo shoot. Planning the actual photo shoot. It's actually creating a mood board, making sure they like that sort of content. I'm not copying that, of course, because I can't even do that even if I want. But it's as inspo for them to understand the vision I have and for me to make sure we are on the same page,
Okay, so otherwise, understanding their needs, but also you presenting with your expertise, but making sure there's alignment, right?
Yes,
so
always.
You already know what to deliver ahead of doing the delivery, right? Doing the work.
Of course, we can actually go through visuals after they are produced and work more on them if they need to. But usually it's working out very well.
Okay, cool. And what are you selling now? So you've got consultancy to businesses, you've got workshops that help people. Is there anything else that
So there are 3 main packages: photography only with the visuals, might be video as well in the future on the website.
And is that localized, or will you travel across the UK for that?
I do travel, yes.
Okay, cool.
So the visuals package only. Visuals and social media management. As I said, nothing goes without the visuals. So that would include copywriting and managing and analytics and so on. And the business workshops, which are either online or with the in-person, actually going and testing, which I think it's better, to be honest.
And you can meet and network with other entrepreneurs as well, right?
Yes, I'll actually have one soon with some of the bondholders. We did a giveaway for the Marketing Derby community, and
you'll have to let me know the details of that one. And also, is it possible to come into a business like ours and do a consultancy piece where you say, here's what you're currently doing and here's what I would change and here's my strategy document for you moving forward?
I guess that would be sort of a social media analysis with a workshop sort of included, which on the website it says all the packages can be tailored according to each business needs. As long as it's something from one of the packages, we can tailor it accordingly, of course. And that's why I said from the beginning, every business is unique. I don't see myself just offering one package, one service.
Yeah, because we're 13 years in, we already have a marketing team, we already have brand guidelines.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just, I might come to you and say, my problem is my message is just not getting through. It's not resonating. I'd love you to come in and give me your opinion on that. Even if you turned around and said, okay, Simon, that's £10,000 and you wrote me one sentence. If the sentence
makes a difference,
made a £10,000 difference, then I'm happy, right?
Yeah. Even with some agencies, for example, they have the strategy, management and all those, but they don't have the visual part. So I'm just helping them with the visual based on their clients.
Partnering.
So
for sure. Partnerships are really important as well. If someone wanted to get started with improving their visuals and improving their storytelling, where would you, or what 3 things would you advise them to do? Take better pictures.
I would say don't focus on what equipment you use. I know
Okay,
people
that's
tend
cool.
to think that,
Yeah.
but you are making the picture. The equipment just gives you the resolution
Yeah.
of the photo or
Apart from
video.
my friend, he has a phone like you. We went to Ibiza recently. Every picture he takes, he tells me there's not a filter on there, but it makes me look like a 14-year-old girl. For some reason.
There's the
Smooths
beauty
my
filter
skin, gives
one.
me like really big eyes. So in
no.
every picture, it looks like I'm on drugs.
There is a
And
filter.
he keeps telling me there's no filter, but I swear.
There is one
and it
built
changed the shape
inside.
of my face as well a bit.
It's built inside the actual camera,
Yeah,
so every
he said
photo
you can't turn
take.
it off.
What? No, you should be able to.
Okay, after the podcast, please tell me how to turn it off so I can send it to him.
I know my mom has that turned on a bit.
It changes the shape of my
But-
face, yeah.
Oh, even that? Oh,
Yeah.
that's a...
Gives me that like face that everyone wants, that sort of alien shaped face.
That should be... there should be for sure a
I'll
setting
show
to
you
turn
some
it off
pictures
though.
after. I'll show
Oh
you
wow,
some
okay.
pictures.
I'm curious now.
Okay, so don't worry about your equipment.
yes.
What are two more?
Just experiment, I guess, and see
Okay.
which one you prefer, which one you feel comfortable with, and do more of those then.
In terms of the medium, like video.
Yes,
picture.
picture or what sort of picture.
Okay.
You can test the lenses on your phone. I prefer the 3 zoom one or 2 and then go backwards a bit, and then the background it's more like closer, I would say, to the subject. So that's a thing that I actually teach in the business workshops, which lens to use exactly for what sort of content. You know, you have the very wide one where you have the zoom ones and so on. So yeah, test a bit the zoom, the ultra wide and so on, and see which one fits in which circumstance basically. And just try and capture emotion, which is all about visual storytelling.
Okay, that's great. You have had success because you've been able to start a business. You're 6 months in, you're growing, you're doing well, you're getting really good reviews, quality of the work. Guys, if you go and check it out online, we'll put the links at the end. It's excellent, like really, really, really good. So it's not like you can't give people advice just because you're 6 months in. So what are your 3 keys to success up to this point, do you think? Whether that's your personal attributes or things that you're doing with the business.
Yeah, consistency probably.
Okay.
Don't doubt yourself.
Yeah.
I know sometimes it happens. There are days and days, of course. Our mood changes, but just be confident in your service or your product, your skills and so on.
Yeah.
And just improve, always improve.
Okay.
Being that mentally, your service, your website, your product.
Yeah.
If you see space for improvement, go for it.
Yeah, I love that. Our tagline at Grow Factor is small changes, big impact.
Sure. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, I didn't really understand it when we did the rebrand, but now more and more I get it.
Yeah.
Just continually improve. Okay, so how can people find out more? How can they get in touch with you? What's the best way?
So I have my website, csvisualstorytelling.com.
Yep.
CS is from my name for people that don't understand. LinkedIn.
Okay.
I'll be there every day replying to everything.
Yeah.
Instagram as well. They are all linked in the website footer anyway. And
great.
I have my phone number as well there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll put the links in the description. You mentioned a free guide.
Yes.
What's that all about? Because that would be something that people could... I love it if people can take one action today off the back of listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
So downloading a free guide and having a read of that.
Yes, so that's available on my website.
Okay.
On most of the pages, you'll find it at the bottom of the page. It's explaining what visual storytelling is. It's providing 7 tips that I always try to incorporate based on the business, of course,
Okay.
on my visuals. And then there are each of the tips. There are real life examples for a business that's, I don't know, focused on sustainability, one that's a bookstore, and so on.
Different industries, yes. You can relate
you would
those.
have exactly examples of content, how to tailor it to, I don't know, build more emotion into it or tell a story. And all of these tips are basically to make you stand out from the crowd.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love that we ended on stand out from the crowd as well, because that is the point of what your business does, just to loop back to the beginning, right?
Yes.
You help business owners stand out from the crowd. Guys, I really hope you know now why it's so important to focus on your visuals, set a budget for general brand building, think in the short and the long term to protect against, just changes in the algorithm. definitely get in touch with Cristina. Ask for help. She's amazing. She's given you a free resource. You should go and download that for sure. Thank
and
you
the code as well.
And the code, yeah, Founder Stories. Thank you for coming down.
Yes, thank you
Appreciate
for inviting
you making
me.
the trip.
Loved it.
We'll be back hopefully for part 2 in a year or so's time.
Yes.
Thank you guys. That's been another episode of Founder Stories, and we'll see you in the next one.